Hi everyone, Maria Tyler here. So in this video we're going to look at restating the Statement of Changes in Equity, or the SOCIE. So what's the point of restating the statement? Well, like we do with all of the financial statements that we will restate in this unit, the point is to separate all of the items into operating and financing. Now Martin talks about this in chapter 4 of his study guides. If I just quickly flick there. So in chapter 4 it tells you how to restate the financial statements, and it explains what operating and financing activities actually are, which you need to know before you can restate your financials. So if you haven't already read chapter 4, it's a pretty good idea to go stop the video and go and read chapter 4 to start with. Now chapter 4 explains to you what operating activities are, what financial activities are. It's also a nice diagram for those who like diagrams to try and understand the distinction. And also Martin goes through and actually restates Ryman Healthcare's financial statements. So starting with the Statement of Changes in Equity, restates that. So you'll see there's the actual Statement of Changes in Equity and then a restated Statement of Changes in Equity. And then go through subsequently with the balance sheet and also the income statements, which we'll look at in different videos. So if you haven't already, have a read of chapter 4. It's very important that you do so right at the beginning. So the point of restating is to separate items of comprehensive income into operating and financing, so O and F. And I'm going to call comprehensive income CI as well. Now, my tips. So again, like your original financial statements, it must have an opening and a closing balance. It must all be linked. Every part of your restated financial statements must be linked or have formulae. Your checks are to make sure that your comprehensive income matches to your comprehensive income in your income statements right down the bottom, and also that your closing balance of equity matches the balance of equity for the balance sheet. So again, go to chapter 4 of the study guide, have a read, and then this is how you set it out. So you've got opening balance, profit, splitting up your CI, and then transactions with shareholders. Now, just quickly, your opening balance, link it to your financial statements as with your profit. You must split up your comprehensive income. So this is actually where we do the restating of your Statement of Changes in Equity. We simply list out the transactions with shareholders, so just link back to your original financials and use a formula to check your closing balance and then check it back against your original financials. So this is where everything's done, and it's actually the easiest statement to restate because usually there's not a lot of items of comprehensive income. So, and most of the time you'll find you only have operating comprehensive income rather than too many items of financial comprehensive income. So let's go and restate. So I'm going to start with my original financial statements that I entered from the previous video, and I'm going to click over into my Restated Financial Statements tab, which is where we're going to do the restating, and start linking. So I want my opening balance, and I can literally just link that. Actually, I should just be able to copy that straight across. No, because there are extra columns in the previous. Yes, there are. So let's just click in and do it. Opening balance. Now I'm going to fill all of these down. Just to about fill without formatting. I don't want formatting to come. My net profit for the year. Let's link it manually. Carry it across. That links it all for me. Other comprehensive income. Now, I'm going to split this into operating comprehensive income and financial comprehensive income. And I'm going to leave two headings there just to show my marker. Even if I don't have operating comprehensive financing comprehensive income, I'm going to leave it there so I can show my marker. I've actually had a look to see if I can separate them. So then we go back. So I've linked this already. I've linked this balance already. So now I'm going to start classifying these three items into O and F. Now remember, you don't classify your headings and totals, just like when you're entering your financial statements, you don't enter figures for headings and totals. You use formulae for totals and you don't enter any figures at all for headings. So same here, so we ignore the heading. What we're going to do, so we've dealt with those two figures, we've simply linked them across. We're going to classify these into O and F, and then hopefully when we add the O and F totals, it matches our original total here. Total comprehensive income again should still match, and then we're simply just going to link all of our transactions with shareholders. We don't have to do anything with those, just put a heading there to tell our marker it's transactions with shareholders, and our closing balance should still be the same because all we're doing is splitting these three into O and F. That's as hard as restating the statement of changes in equity gets. So what I like to do is I use this little column here and I go through each item, find out what it is, and then I say, well, that's to do with the operating side or that's to do with the financing side of this company. So the exchange differences are usually to do with operations, so I'll classify it as O. Same with the cash flow hedges in Wesfarmers' case. Now that's not always the case. There could be cash flow hedges for financial purposes, in which case you would classify them as F. In my case, they are definitely O. And remeasurement loss on defined benefit plans. So defined benefit plans to do with their employees. So employees are to do with operations, so I'm going to classify that as O. So I don't have any financial comprehensive income. I only have operating comprehensive income. So that makes it slightly easier for me. I'll still leave this heading there for now, just to show my marker that I actually don't have any, and I'll put zeros in it. But before I do, I'm going to link in all of my O's, which are these. I'm going to copy them down. Fill without formatting. Don't want formatting there. I have to fix up the formatting a bit. Put my heading back in, financial comprehensive income. This was my heading. This was also a heading. This was also a heading. Okay, so my other comprehensive income now is going to be split up into O and F. Now I don't actually have any F, so I'm literally going to just put zeros in here because I don't have any. If I did have it, I would link it straight back. In this case, I'm just going to keep linking. Fill those down. Fill without formatting again and carry them across. Link this across as well. I don't have any financial comprehensive income, so I'll link my total in. Link my two totals in actually. And just instead of linking my totals now, I'm going to do another sum. So I will sum all of my operating comprehensive income and my financial comprehensive income. Now you could also do a total in here. You could right click and go insert, put a total in here and call it total operating comprehensive income. You could also do a total that said total financing comprehensive income and then add those two subtotals together to get total other comprehensive income. In my case, I'm just going to add them all up. It doesn't matter which way you do it, as long as you understand what you're doing and the final figures are correct. So this is the final figure. This is one of your check figures, which equals your profit plus your other comprehensive income for the year. So that should still match to your original financials. 1347, 1347. So that's good, it still does. Now all of these items are transactions with shareholders, so we just put a heading called transactions with shareholders and simply link. Might need a couple extra lines in here. Quickly format painter a couple extra lines and fill that down without formatting. I don't want. Okay, so we're literally just linking. All I'm doing is just linking. That's all I'm doing. Fill without formatting and carry those formulas across. Or carry those links across, I should be saying. dividends. All right, now with my closing balance, let's do a sum again. So it should be, my closing balance should be the opening balance. Actually, let's start from this end. So this should be the opening balance plus my total comprehensive income plus all of my transactions with shareholders, which again you can do a total for. I'm not going to in this case. And just fill it across and check that this balance matches to the original financials. So 22,754, 23, 22 and 24. Yep, it does. So that's good. Now I've just got to format it, and that's my restated statement of changes in equity. Just do a little bit of formatting. Doesn't matter how, really, as long as it's nice and neat. This doesn't need to be bold, neither do these. Format those. And that's my restated statement of changes in equity.